When you talk about the crops, what the first point comes in our mind? What is the first? What is crop actually? From where we get the earlier, the man was not aware about the cropping or farming. Whatever they get it, they will eat it. But so what is the problem that time? Community has to move from one place to another place because that food is resources are exhausted. Now man developed what? Farming. Now he got stabilized. He got a home there. He got stabilized there. Then he was starting animal husbandry and all, right? So it got stable. So farming is the what? Nothing but what is farming? Farming. Yes. I got it here. So crops are the plants that are cultivated by the humans for a food, fodder, fiber, flowers, and timber. So ultimately, we are depend on the plant. We are eating solar energy. Is statement is correct or not? Indirectly, we are eating solar energy. Ultimately, that's chlorophyll is responsible for trapping solar energy. They're converting into what? Food, and that food we are eating almost. Yes or no? Or those are herbivorous eaten by the carnivorous. Ultimately, that's energy is getting. Yes or no? Okay. So now tell me one thing. Rabi crops are called a winter crops. There are some crops who has to be taken in some season only. For example, if I want to cultivate rice, that has to be cultivated during the rainy season. Okay. India rainy season is there. In Oman, can I cultivate the rice? But I want to cultivate rice. I want it. What should I do? Go to India. Nahi. What can I do? I can make sure water is abundantly present. But still, the rice which is getting cultivated is not up to mark because the environment is not proper. Getting my point? Okay. Now, crops are the called winter crops because those crops require. Acha, tell me one thing. You must have aware about the apple. The apple, normal apple, and the Kashmiri apple. Kashmiri apple is very red and big in size because mostly apple cold conditions are favored for the apple, so it's grow bigger inside. Strawberry mostly in cold regions. Is it possible to cultivate strawberry here? The plant will be there, but the fruits is not will be properly. So they need a proper environment. Yes or no? Okay. Now, have you seen like suppose this is Oman. From Oman, there is a camels are there. Okay. If not I, if the suppose camel is transported towards the India and you must be have visiting the seashore, right? In India. You must have seen the camel. Must have seen the camel over there. Camel rides are there. What is the problem? Camel is actually from desert. Now he is enjoying vacation. Where? Seashore. What is the problem with the camel right now? He's trying to adjust with that environment and he eventually die because of more suddenly changes in the environment. Getting my point? Penguin, you must have aware about that case. Penguin has to be transported from the polar region towards the for a century. Is it possible to take care of penguins? We have to keep first temperature cold. That's very expenditure, right? Yes or no? A lot of money can be like for AC purposes and all. So is it possible? No. Why? It's possible, but your expenditure will be more, and the chances of survival is very less. Why? Ultimately, climatic changes are responsible for that. This point is very clear to you. Similarly, some crops are there, they can be cultivated during the winter, or some can be during the summer because they want that much temperature. Suppose you're suddenly moving from here to the Australia. You get a May fever, you may get a fever initial days. You are getting loss of appetite. What this indicates? What is this symptoms? These symptoms are telling you that some climatic changes are there. You may get a viral fever, right? So these are the indication. So according to the climate, everything is changing. What is weather and climate? Tell me. I ask you the question. Okay, and climate? Okay, climate is a longer period. Climate will be the longer period. If you talk about Kashmir, definitely the cold will be there. First point, right? If you talk about the weather in the Kashmir, it can be changed. Okay, weather. What is the weather? Climate of the Oman, mostly the warm, but during the we can say the rainy season, it's a little bit different, right? So what is weather is a short period. The climate is a longer period of time. And this impact on the food resources, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so there are two types of crops. A rabi crop will be there, and kharif will be there. Okay, rabi are what? Winter crop. These are from what? Winter, and these are for summer crop. Why? Grown from the November to, okay, इनका भी birthday आता है देखो, November to April only they can cultivate it, because that temperature is that. But right now there is a problem. Everything is getting shift, right? In climate as well. So wheat, barley, gram, mustard, pea, and linseed are the example of rabi crops. Then kharif crops are called a summer crop. These crops are grown from the June to October. What is that? Rainy season. Even you talk about summer, but they need a water. Getting my point? So they be that. Example, rice. Rice, you know what? A lot of water it's needed. Then groundnut, soybean, arhar, gram, and cotton and jute will be there. Okay. See, these are the notes we are talking about. Once we're done with the notes, we'll go to the question answer session. Okay. So pay attention. Three major activities are needed to obtain the improvement of crop yield. Why we need a large number of crops should be cultivated? Can anybody give me answer? To beat the population, because this population explosion is there. What is population explosion? More and more people are coming. The demand of food is increased, but the supply is less. So we need to do something. If you go to the higher classes, there is a answer is biotechnology. In biotechnology, what we do, we in we are hybrid. We grafting method is going on. Tissue culture is going on. You must aware about this, but detail you're going to study in the higher classes. So right now, crop production management is has to be important. For example, if I'm taking a crop which actually utilizing all the nutrients from the soil, if I'm keep going with this crop, one day will become there is no nutrition in the soil and the plant will never grow. So I have to exchange. I'm like, suppose I take a crop A. Okay, let's say crop wheat I'm taking. Next, I will take a crop pulses. So what? Whatever the nutrition is absorbed by the first plant, we can get it back. The soil will get it back from the pulses plant. So this is the management should be there. Okay. Is it possible keep on going with the same crop? No, because some are short living, some are long term, right? That's the thing. Now, crop variety improvement. Variety should be there. Tell me one thing. If there is, I'm doing a wheat farming, so obviously apart from wheat, I will use some my another the land for vegetables kind of thing, right? So that's the thing. Then crop protection. That is very very important. Suppose you have a longer India, it's not possible right now, but suppose you have a very huge land. Okay, if there is a problem with the insect, then it will be a problem. So you need to protect your crop. That is more important rather than two steps. The last step is very, very important. Yes or no? Okay. So let's talk about the nutrient management. What is nutrition? Can anybody tell me what is nutrition? What is nutrition? What is nutrition? Intake of nutrition. Very good. I'm totally new to this board. I'm trying my best. If I don't want to this, then okay, got it. Okay, finally understood. Now, nutrient management. We have to work on nutrition. For example, you must have knowing the apple. Your parents is, I mean, not suggesting you. Definitely, they're scolding. Just eat apple, and first, no, don't eat apple directly. Wash it properly. Wash it thoroughly. When you're trying to wash it, you say the waxy liquid is there. What is that? That's a pesticide or insecticide. Maybe anything can be there. So we need to wash it properly. Why? To protect from the insect that is spread over that, but it will be harming our health. So we have to take care of that as well, right? Even the vegetables we are getting, we need to thoroughly wash it, right? Now, but don't wash the, suppose there is a spinach, I'm cutting it and then you are washing. Useless, because all the nutrients are washed away. Before that, you can wash properly, okay? And even you can't directly, whatever you eating vegetables, okay? You are making hot water and you are making vegetables. All nutrition values are almost 1%, 2%, because hot temperature is killing those things. So try to eat a raw vegetables, right? In burgers, you are eating raw vegetables. What's that? Correct. So sometimes we raw material is preferred. Now plants need 16 essential nutrients for their growth. How many? 16. There are micro or macro will be there. I'm getting confused. Where is this? Okay. So how many? 16s. Air supplies carbon, oxygen, and water. It's visible to you from here? Okay. Or I have to do this. It's visible to you? Everyone can visible. I'm like, okay. So what is this? Water supply, hydrogen. Other 30 nutrients are supplied by the soil. Can I say that soil is the major source of nutrients? Can I say that? Yes. And carbon, oxygen, and water. Tell me one thing. Plant need what? Oxygen? Plant need oxygen. Yes or no? No. Plant need oxygen, but during night. During day, you can talk about carbon dioxide is getting trapped, food is prepared. Water is coming from down. You know that. Oxygen we are getting, it's a splitting. It is a result of splitting of water. Yes or no? So now tell me one thing. Nitrogen is present in atmosphere, but plant is not able to absorb the nitrogen directly. It is problematic, right? Okay. So micronutrients and macronutrients are a classification. I'm going to show you the PPT. I'm just reading first notes, then PPT will be there and some videos will be there. But in this chapter, we don't need that much things. Okay, but tissue, animal, whatever you have learned from me, you understood, right? Okay. So macronutrients, the nutrients which are required in a large quantities. When you talk about in Indian thali, we eat rice and pulses, that is dal, more amount rather than having ghee or oil products. Why? That is the one who gives the more energy. So those required in a larger quantity, that's called a macro. And those you need a less, that is called micro. So MA is larger, MI is smaller amount. So nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sulfurs are what? Micro. So they has to be there. Acha, tell me one thing. Nitrogen is there, phosphorus is there, potassium, calcium, magnesium. You know, what is that plant? I'm just showing you. Let's see. Yes, the plant who eat the insect, insectivorous plant. Sundew is there. Then eh, Venus flytrap. I'm about to draw that. It's a Venus flytrap. Why they eat insects? They are green in color. Plus, this first listen. They are green in color. They perform the photosynthesis. Definitely, they perform the photosynthesis because they are green in color. So why they need insect? Extra nutrients. Okay. Let's go to McDonald's. You will be ready. Why? We want burger and all. At least 2 week after we want burger. At least in my case. I don't know your case. Okay. I want some different food. Why? Because of taste. But this plant not because of taste. They don't like insect. The problem is with soil. The area in which soil is they are present, they lack of nitrogen and phosphorus. Insects are a proteinous sources, right? So they are performing photosynthesis. Tell me one thing: how many nutrients are there in from the soil? 16. If they are not getting properly, the growth will be stopped. Growth will be hampered. So in this case, they adapted themselves as a insect-eaten plant. So those, if the in a Venus flytrap, the insect is there, they can eat the insect. Actually, the insect is getting fermented over there. खा नहीं लेते उसको पूरा क्या कहते हैं ferment हो जाएगा and they will get a nitrogen phosphorus. Getting my point? Okay, so that was the thing. Now, micronutrients, some nutrients are used by the plants in a small quantities are called a micronutrient. These are iron, magnesium, boron, zinc, copper, molybdenum, and fluoride. This is very important. Okay. I want you to write this now. I have written something good. Nitrogen, calcium, sulfur, and chlorine. Odd man out. Your answer will be on what basis? Macronutrients and micronutrients. So this short question will be there. So please pay attention. You should know. That's why I told you you have to write this. My point is very clear to you. Okay, now we're moving to the next. That is manure and fertilizers. So when you talk about the fertilizers, what point come in your mind? What is fertilizers according to you? What are the fertilizers? They are extra nutrients. Very good. And what we can talk about the fertilizers. See, this is very, very important things. What you're going to talk about that is manures are a natural substances. Manures are what? natural substances prepared by the decomposed animal excreta. Animal potty is using here. Okay, feces, stool, and plant waste. Since manure supply large quantity of the organic matter and small quantities of nutrients to the soil, they have to be used in a bulk. Manures are classified as follows. Okay, what is manure? Mostly animal cow dung you can talk about. Okay, cow dung. Why we have to use a cow dung in a bulk? What is the problem? Lesser nutrient will be there, so they need a more quantity. What is excreta? Why they need animal to excrete? Whatever not absorbed in the body and whatever not required for the body has to be removed from the body. So obviously some amount, whatever we eating, every nutrition we are not getting absorbed. I'm like in body is not getting absorbed. Some amount has to be. If you like gulab jamun, if you like this, you were eating so much today. That doesn't mean everything is getting absorbed in your body. Are you getting my point? Is it possible I'm just having dinner very nicely in one day only, and one day amongst the whole week? So I'm going to get a fat? No. If I do continuously at least for a 2 week, 3 week, then my body will be impacted on that. Getting my point? So body, whatever you're eating, it's not everything is getting absorbed. Similarly in animal cases. So that's why this required in a bulk quantity. That can be asked the question, why they need a bulk quantity? Larger quantity, but supplies a lesser nutrients. Getting my point? Okay. So these manures are classified as a compost and vermicompost. What is compost and vermicompost? Vermicompost, when you talk about earthworm. Earthworms are also called as a friends of farmers. What they do? They celebrate the friendship. How they celebrate the friendship? They eat the waste. They create a burrows in the soil so air can be exchanged. I mean, air can be aerated. Soil will be there. Getting my point? So microbes get exposed to the air and they convert the nitrates. I told you the nitrogen is required, but nitrogen is not get directly absorbed. So there is some group of bacteria who are responsible for conversion of atmospheric nitrogen towards nitrates and nitrate that is soluble to the plant. Okay. So compost is what? What is compost here? A biological process in which microbes develops the vegetables or what can decompose. What is decompose according to you? What is decompose? What do you mean by decompose? Tell me. What do you mean by decompose? Dead and decay matter. What is dead and decay matter? मट्टी से आए मट्टी में ही जाना है means what? The person like this is dialogue in Hindi, right? माटी से आए मतलब मट्टी से आए तो मट्टी में ही जाना means what? We are, our life is originated from the soil, or ultimately after dying, not talking about human, I'm talking about all, definitely they will decompose into the soil only. Yes or no? Yes. So simple way, decompose means degenerate. Suppose the cow is died, the farmer earlier used to use. Now that what will do with the cow? He will be buried and decomposed in the farming only, the land only. Why? Nutrition will be get from that. Yes or no? So kitchen waste, sewage waste, animal excreta is called a composting. The compost which is prepared by the using earthworm is called the vermicompost. But don't add plastic. Definitely. See, whatever they told you kitchen, right? So obviously kitchen, now a lot of plastic we are using. Since it is banned, but still we are using. Plastic is not decomposable by any organisms, right? So that will be, we have to take care. Now, green manure and fertilizers. So have you understood what is compost? Compost is nothing but a combination of the kitchen waste, sewage waste, animal extracta, vegetable decompose. It's a composting. And if this compost is forming under the influence of earthworm, that is called as vermicompost. This point is very clear to you. Okay. Now green manure, green color manure. What is that green color manure? So green manure is prepared by the growing, mulching, and mixing green crops with the soil. Sir, I don't understood this. Why you want to do this degradation thing? Suppose I have taken a rice crop, wheat crop. I'm going to use only those granules. Yes or no? Those granules I'm going to use. Whatever the remaining part, I'm not going to use it. What the farmers earlier do or what they do, just ignite it and just everything is vanish off, right? Instead of that, you can use as a green manure. Okay. with a mixing what? Ultimately, you're mixing with what? Soil. Whatever the important part, let's just pluck it away. What is not important? Just make sure it getting mixed with the soil. Okay. Achha, I will tell you one story regarding this. There is a barren land. There is not no plant was there. Okay, in USA. So what they done experiment is that they done that. Uh, orange. Okay, orange in color, right? They have a seeds inside, but the pulp is very sweet in taste, or pulp is more rather than the as compared to the seeds. What they done? They took a tons of oranges, tons of many tons of oranges. They have taken from the market, and on that land they just spread it away, and they forget about what they have done. After 10 years, that barren land is converted into the forest. How? This is the orange. It undergoes the decomposition. The pulp is utilized by seed. They start growing. Okay, nutrition was not there in the soil. They got a nutrition after decomposition of the whole fruit. Getting my point? So they converted a barren land into the forest, but they took how much time? 10 years. Okay, getting my point? So that is called mulching. What is mulching? A plogging. What is mulching? Some, yes. The tractor is used for plogging purpose, right? And that time you can mix soil with this green plant. Now fertilizers. At the moment I talk about the fertilizers, what are the fertilizers? But these fertilizers are very dangerous sometimes. It can be create a problem, hazardous problem. So it's a chemical substance produced commercially. Fertilizers are rich in plant nutrients such as the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So when I'm talking about fertilizers, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Please write this definition. Fertilizers out there. That is very, very important when you talk about the fertilizers. Now let's talk about the organic farming. I told you organic farming is well-known thing, but because of the high rate of the price, we are neglected it, right? It should be affordable to everyone. So that's why. Organic farming is the method of farming using less or no amount of fertilizers. Why we don't want fertilizers? So fertilizers are very useful. NPK. When you do the fertilizers, plants grow like rapidly. But imagine the farming land is just beside a river. Definitely some pesticides, some insecticides, some fertilizers will wash away and they will go to the river. Inside the river, water get contaminated. Obviously, in the whole water, fishes are there. Those fish are going to eat those things. Definitely that go into the body, get accumulation over there. Those fish are eaten by the obviously the human nearby area, or some exportation will be done. So what is the problem? Ultimately, we are eating fertilizers. That is dangerous, right? We should stop. Almost we have to stop. But what is the problem with organic farming? I told you what, expensive plus time taken, and in case of chemical, easily availables are there, right? So that's the thing. So fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides are not used. What is pesticides? After your crop culture is there, I mean, like, crop cultivation is there, the last product has to be protected, so use a pesticide. I told you that apple story, the waxy coating, right? Yeah. So this method is use only organic matter like manure. What is manure? A combination of the animal excreta, then plant. Okay, that is manure. Biofertilizers. This is important point. What is biofertilizer? Biofertilizers. What they are? Bio means life, a live fertilizer. Some microbes are responsible. Are we eating curd? What is curd? Lactobacillus. We are eating actually the live bacteria, and that is good bacteria for the body. Okay. We drink prebiotic, probiotic, right? That is what alive organisms we are eating. Yes or no? So there are some microbes who are responsible for giving the nourishment to the soil, like azobacter, azobacter. Then anamina, not that movie, yeah. It's anamina, or cyanobacteria. You should not aware about this. I'm just telling you the names, but you should know that it means. Azobacter, cyanobacteria are responsible for nitrogen fixation, are responsible for giving the nutrition to the soil. So this method is only organic matter like manure, biofertilizers are there. Okay. And healthy cropping system like crop rotation. What is crop rotation? I told you. If you're taking a wheat, next time take a pulses. Next time take some veggies, right? Mixed farming in the whole land. Some part is for vegetables, some part for the fruit, some part will be your real crop. Okay. So risk is also less. You can get money from it. Now tell me one thing. Suppose, okay, I'm a farmer right now. Yeah, I'm a farmer. So what I will do, I will do one thing. Okay, I will do three things. First, farming, fisheries also there, and the goat husbandry. I will do that. Okay, animal husbandry. I will use goat. What I will do, I will do one thing. Just 1 second. Let me clean it. This is a area of land. Okay, this part. This is the main crop. I'm going to use it. Main crop. Okay. Here, I will make a swimming pool. Not for me. Definitely not for me. For the fish. And above that, I will use a wooden mesh-like things. Okay. That a very minute one. And on this, there is a, like you can say, what is the tent will be there. And inside that, goat are there. What's going to happen? From the main crop, when I'm cultivating, main grains are removed. Remaining paddy I will give to the goat. They will eat. They will do pieces, stools, and those stools are getting down towards getting no, there is no soil. The fish will eat the goat's piece of stools. They will eat it. So what is happening in this case? My main problem was solved. What should I do with the remaining part of the plant? I'm giving to the goat. Goat gets satisfied. Even I can get milk from the goat. Even I can get a meat from the goat. I'm getting that. I'm getting Amir. Okay, then what is the next thing? I'm getting fish also get survive. I don't have to add food to the fish. Ultimately, they get natural things. So this is the technique. Okay, getting my point? Okay, you want to do that? Don't. Okay, now do you know what is hydroponics? Plant growing without soil is called a hydroponics. How can you do that? Take a plant, put in water, add only nutrients, plant will be growing. Okay, we'll talk about that hydroponics later on. So let's go further. Advantage of organic farming, this question can be asked. What's that question? Oh, what is this? Ooh, what is that question? Advantage of organic farming. The food obtained from the organic farming is free from pesticides and toxic chemicals. So definitely this is a good food. Yes or no? Some people do one thing. They grows the veggies their by own. Okay, that's good one, right? Farm wastes are recycled by using organic farming. Organic farming maintains soil health. Oh, soil has to go to doctor for check about the health, right? How can you see? You know what? Before farming, soil ingredients are checked properly. Otherwise, it will be very problematic. Yes or no? Some soils is dark in color. Some soils are faint in color. Some soils are very orangeous or some color. That means they have something like iron will be more, sulfur will be more. So combination of macro and micro will be alter. So according to that, we'll take a plant. Okay. Now, cropping system of organic farming, that is crop rotation, mixed farming, intercropping. What is intercropping? Yes. Can you say that? Suppose there is wheat. In between that, the different plant I will take. Okay. And now it prevents our environmental from the pollution. That is more and more important. What is cropping? What do you mean by cropping pattern? The moment I say cropping pattern, that is what indicate. That indicate a what? Correct. It's a practice of growing two or more crops simultaneously. Just 1 second. I'm so sorry for this. 1 second. This is the page. Okay. So what is crop pattern? When you talk about the crop pattern, what it mean? Can you see something example? What is the problem if you continuously take a single crop? It could have create a problem, nutrition or hazardous effect on the nutrition value of a soil. So for that, you have a combination. The practice of growing two or more crops simultaneously in the same field is called mixed cropping. Following combinations are taken like maize and urad. Okay. Then groundnut and sunflower, wheat and groundnut. Can I take groundnut, wheat and sunflower together? No. Why? Then take a more. See, you want one plant should be take nutrition. You want another plant to give the nutrition back to the soil. Okay. So that's the combination will be there. Now, advantages of mixed cropping, it minimizes the risk of crop failure due to the abnormal weather condition. Suppose this is gonna happen again and again because this is okay. So what happened? Like suppose two crops are there. If the weather condition, one crop can be failure, but other crop you can get money, right? If you take only one rice and there is a problem in rice, what's going to happen then? A huge loss will be to the farmer, right? So that is the smartness wala thing is over. Okay. So this is the combination you can talk about. Now, let me teach you, then I will the time to write. Okay. Now, intercropping. What do you mean by intercropping? What is intercropping? Intercropping is what? The practice of growing two or more crops simultaneously in a definite rows. Wait. Mixed cropping is what? Some part is okay. So suppose this is a land. Some part is another cropping. Here is another cropping. That is called mixed one. But intercropping means what? One row is maize, second row will be groundnut. So intermixing will be there. So it is called intermixing or intercropping in different row in the same field called the intercropping. Advantage, what are the advantage? First, intercropping increases the productivity of the crops. Definitely. How come, sir? Maize need a most nutrition. Groundnuts are there who are called rhizobious plant or leguminous plant who are responsible for the nitrogen fixation more. So suppose here is your first row is maize. Okay. And here is a leguminous plant. What is leguminous plant? Groundnut, you know, na? It's below the ground. The pod is there. So these are the nitrogen fixation. So nitrogen, once they fix, it can be eaten by or taken by maize. So it is good now for the health of maize, right? So this is a productivity increases. Intercropping helps to maintain the soil fertility. The same point is there. Soil fertility. One plant is taking, another plant is giving back. I have a 10 rupees. I give the 5 rupees to my friend. I got 5 rupees from another friend. So again, I have 10 rupees only. Getting my point? Exactly at 10 rupees. Then similarly, it makes better use of natural resources. It make better use of natural resources. So this is point very clear to you. Yes. Now crop rotation. What is a crop rotation? Crop rotation. The practice in which different types of crops are grown alternatively. Wait, what is crop mixing? At the same time, on the same land, two partitions are there. What is intermixing? One row is different plant, one row is different plant, again same plant, different plant. Okay. What is crop rotation? I told you. The practice in which different types of crops are grown alternatively in the same land in a pre-planned succession is called a crop rotation. Depending upon the, so 1 year rotation, if I take a maize, then next will be groundnut. Okay. I can suppose I don't want to do that. I have a very small land, so I will use for groundnut, then I will for maize, again for groundnut. Then 2 year rotation and 3 year rotation. Rather than if you go for 4 year, it will be till that your nutrition value of soil is decreases. Okay, you got the points, what I'm talking about? Okay, now you need to write. Now we are going to talk about the animal husbandry. I give the example, right? That goat and the fish are the come under the animal husbandry. That's a combination. So it is a branch of agriculture that deals with the feeding, caring, and breeding of domestic animals. Why we need only domestic animals? Can I do animal husbandry of lion, tiger, giraffe, gorilla? Can I do that? Why I should do it? No, because why domestic one? From where we get something. That's why we are very selfish. You know, we are very humans are very selfish because they are obviously undergoing the animal husbandry. Those from chicken, we're getting the meat. Eggs, we are getting at. From goat, we are getting milk as well as meat, right? So animal husbandry. Why we want to do animal husbandry? Obviously for earning money. So that's why they choose those animals who give you the more money. So cattle husbandry is done for the following purpose: milk, meat production, agriculture production. Okay, cattle are used for that. The last part is here. Drought animals are used for the agriculture tasks like tilling, irrigation, and carting. What is this? Bulls and cows. Cows are for milking, and right? Cows are used for, yes, yes. They're used for what? Plogging purpose and all that. You are aware about it. Right now, it's very rare. Why? We have a tractors, we have some machineries, right? But is it possible if you have a very small piece of land? Tractor is big in that land, so definitely I will do use these things, right? Okay. Dairy animals, milk producing animals called milch animals, and dairy animals. This includes cows, buffaloes, goat, camel, and yak. Yak. Okay. So tell me one thing. You must have heard about the milk industry. Amul milk, pita hai India. Like that is a tagline. Tell me one thing. Just let me. I want you to think. इतना दूध कहाँ से आता है? From where they did lot of milk. Every day is not cow is willing to give you milk. Something they have done. Are you getting my point? You will say large quantity of the animals are when exactly they give the injection, they provoke the cow is pregnant, and that's why the milk is production is much more. They enhance the mammary gland. What is mammary gland? Those produce the milk. In human case, when the baby is, I mean, pregnancy is there, only milk is coming that time only. Same in case of animals as well. But if we provoke the pregnancy with some injection, what injection? Hormones. Okay, we can say sex hormones will be there. Those are injected in the body of the animals. They feel like they are pregnant. So they can. Okay. Now, poultry. Acha, tell me one thing. Which is the costliest milk? Whose animals is costly milk? No, 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 no. Uh, Ideally, we should not use it, but it is used in the medical industry, and that is very costly. Donkey. Donkey's milk is actually full of the antibiotics we can talk about, or not antibiotics, sorry, cholesterol material. Cholesterol material is for immunity purpose. Okay. But you've not heard about that because that is a medicinal uses more. Okay. Camel milk is there, but rarely used. Very expensive, but rarely use it for taste purpose. But this is for medical purpose. Okay. So now, exotic breed of poultry having the highest egg laying capacity is white. Like on white. Like on MCQs, they will ask you this. Okay. They produce long white eggs. Whatever you're getting, it's from then only. Also, tell me one thing. When the chicken is going to lay eggs, reproduction cycle will male and female mate, the egg will be there. But we want, so egg is veg or non-veg? This egg is veg. Try to understand why veg? Because it is from one parent only. Getting my point? What is the two parental product? Is the sexual reproduction will be there. It will be called as a non-veg egg. But egg is non-veg only. Getting my point? Because we are eating life. That's why it's called a. So one parent. See, now in the body of this leghorn, white leghorn, definitely some injection has to be put. So the body try to make a eggs. Don't you think the whole life is going into producing the eggs? So though there is no nourishment, whatever egg you're eating from that, that's not that nutrition as compared to the forest variety, you can say that, right? Okay. So they produce long white eggs. They have a small body size, no need less feed and maintenance. See how selfish humans are. They've chosen a variety of chicken such a way that only you give a small amount of feed, they can feed on it, and you get a eggs. Yes or no? So human cruelty is there, but ultimately we can't do anything. I mean, we can do many things, but what is needed, that is needed. Getting my point? That is needed, what is needed. So we have covered which chapter? Improvement in a food resources. Right now we're going to deal with a question and answers. Okay, just 1 second.